little bit for my YouTube channel. I am on the top of the ball, but it's impossible for 1 billion children to all be on the top of a ball, right? Sensibly, we know that only one person could be on the top, and the others have to be arrayed around the side and underneath and all of that.
From their perspective, is the top. So we're here at the top of this part of the world, and then people at the other side of the world, in Australia, they're also at the top of the world. We can all be at the top of the world.
Yeah, that's nonsense.
There's room for all of us.
Okay, if we imagine we got a big boulder here, a massive boulder, and I got to stand on the top, and then I asked you to stand at the 3 o'clock position on the side.
Yeah.
Would you think you were on the top?
Yes, because when I'm on this side, that's my top. It's a different perspective.
Okay, I understand that, but in our reality, you would fall off, right?
No, I wouldn't.
You wouldn't fall off the side of the rock?
In reality, Australians don't fall off. They usually get attracted.
They don't fall off because we're on a level plane. At the end of the day, if what you do is you shrink the Earth down, this flat Earth model that they talk about, I'm not saying I'm selling any model here, but if they shrink it down to the size of an Olympic swimming pool, and you put 5 big boulders in that and a magnet in the center, or strong magnet in the center, I can sail east and west, which is what all we've ever done, is we've sailed east and west around this flat body of water. We've never actually ever navigated underneath the South Pole, flown, ship or whatever, come out at 180 degrees.
Some people have, yeah.
Can you show me evidence of that? Because I have no one's ever provided me any evidence of that.
Well, there's plenty of books that talk about going around the world. Plenty.
Around the world, I can go around the Hyde Park. I can go around London, sir. That doesn't mean I went under London.
Yeah, that's true.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Any questions? Guys, we've been lied to. We cannot measure curvature over water. Water, we intelligently know when it settles in a pool, Olympic swimming pool, it is level all the way across from one side of the pool to the other. If I made that 50-meter pool 500 meters or 500 kilometers, I would get the same result. We call that a lake. And I can sometimes see a lake's shore at 10 kilometers away. Now, according to this curvature formula, 1, the boats are going over some sort of bump in the middle of the lake. Of course they're not, that's stupid. And 2, that I shouldn't be able to see the beach on the other side because it should be below, the water should be obscuring that view of the beach because of the formula.
Like we cannot see, even with a telescope on a very, very clear day, eventually, that's it, you see the curve. You do see the curve. So you don't see behind the curve because it is curved.
So there's no way of seeing the curve?
There is a way. You see the horizon in the sea, you see it perfectly well.
Yeah, horizon is a word for horizontal. Horizon also means horizontal.
It's true, yeah, because from our perspective it's so far away that it looks like it's horizontal.
It looks horizontal. Okay. Oh, it is horizontal. Good.
Yeah.
Okay. So now if I took this bottle of water, and allowed this bottle of water to come perfectly at rest, you all intelligently know that this top of the water will be level. And even if I angle the bottle differently, the same water level will be achieved. Now this water level will be parallel to horizontal. It will be, I'll say it again, parallel to horizontal. At what point is this ever curving? Horizontal flat lines cannot curve. Even though we think we see, like this man was saying, in the reaches of our distance, we think we see bending. But what if we know that water can bend things? Water can bend light. Yes? And so is it possible that when things are being squashed down into the distance by the perspective, the factor of perspective, that we're seeing the clouds touching the sky, touching the horizon? Well, we know they're not touching the horizon when we look over the beach. The clouds are not touching the horizon. They're still at 500 meters high all the way along. But perspective pulls them down into the horizon. Yes? So everything is being squashed.
Gravity pulls them down.
Huh?
Gravity pulls them down.
So you think the clouds are bending like this around?
Yeah, of course it is.
You've flown recently, I can tell by your accent here.
Yeah.
So I flew recently from South Africa, 11 hours on the plane, right?
Yeah.
And it's a quarter of the distance around the globe.
Yeah.
Now, if I'm flying from this side of the rock to up this side of the rock, that's a 90-degree change. My body said that this is up now. Now I go to England, this is up. According to what you were saying earlier.
Exactly, because you've been pulled by gravity.
Okay.
And then your body feels exactly the same thing, yes.
But why can't I measure that or feel it?
You cannot feel it because you feel exactly the same, so you don't feel the difference.
So you don't feel, yeah. So isn't it like they say the simplest answer is normally the correct one? The simplest answer is that you're flying flat and level.
Doctor Strangelove?
Yeah. Yeah.
So but basically, if you flew from where? Cape Town?
Yeah, Joburg. Yeah.
Okay, Johannesburg. Then that's it. You know, you were in a way from an outsider, you would
Yeah.
have been on a, like maybe 90 degree or almost a 90 degree perspective. But then from your perspective, you were always in the right position.
Is this football?
Because
Yeah, that's just theoretical bumbo jumbo.
Johannesburg now and warm here.
why not?
Okay. Well, let me give you an explanation we can think of in football terms. Like if the football the middle of the pitch was the equator. Let me answer your question, sir. The middle of the pitch is the equator, and your 10-yard line is Cancer. Let me finish talking, sir. Your Cancer is the first 10-yard line, and Capricorn is the other 10-yard line. Now, every day I fire a light across the center line, but every 6 months I bring it closer to Cancer and then closer to Capricorn, meaning that the goal mouth on one side is going to get colder for a period of time, and the goal mouth on the other side will be warmer, conversely. So that's a much simpler way. But have you ever seen that we've never flown? Ever wondered why we've never flown underneath? And let me ask you one more thing while I'm thinking. Is that the Antarctic Treaty? Do you know about that? Signed in 1957 after the Americans did a whole lot of research down there and said we found a lot of stuff down there, and then they shut it down from us going there, right? So you can't go. Ranulph Fiennes took 5 years to get permission to just do a short walk across the Antarctic in the wintertime. I spoke to his crew about that. So we've never actually gone underneath there. We don't know what's going on after the 70th parallel.
The model works. Your model doesn't work. Because what's at the end?
You don't understand the model, so how can you say it doesn't work?
Well, okay, but then you tell me what happens at the end of this. What happens at the end? If this is flat,
okay.
What happens at the end? At the edge.
Okay.
What happens?
Well, you see, this is one of the craziest things about the ball belief is that you've got no problem saying that water is sticking to the underside of the ball.
No,
but when I
because
say that it must be like a lake, that it must have a barrier, we see that all the time in nature. And what else we see in nature? We see fruit that is round. Yes? Fruit that is round and has a skin. Yeah. Every fruit in nature must grow inside of its skin. Not according to you. Not according to you guys who believe that we've got all this water and human flesh right next to a vacuum. Impossible in reality. You've got to have a skin. So I say that we are inside an apple, inside an orange, but we can't be on the outside of the orange. The fruit won't be on the outside, bro. It would die. So any other questions?
The way you believe that we are inside, like inside the surface.
Yes. No, not in the surface. No, if you had to take a glass bowl and fill it with water and throw stones inside, what would happen? The stones would go to the bottom, and then the water would give you a sea level, and the stones sticking above the water would be your continents. Simple. And then the gases in that, by the way, would start to collect. The heavy ones by the sea level and the light ones at the top.
You will touch that bowl, you will touch that glass.
Yes.
But we haven't touched that.
How do you know?
No, nobody has.
Well, some Americans. Have you heard of Admiral Byrd? He's the most celebrated American admiral, and he did 30 years of exploration down there, 20 years, and he said he found. They say he found a wall that he found.
Someone said, well, if there was all around the world, there was this surface that we couldn't go through, a barrier.
Yes.
Like someone would have found it by now.
Oh yeah, but your masters don't want you to know. If you knew, I
mean, not our masters, your masters too.
Well, yes.
like people travel. I mean, you flew from South Africa. Like you could have taken a plane somewhere else, a boat somewhere else, or.
But I can't go beyond down the 70th parallel. I'm not allowed to go there, other than on very much controlled and guided tours.
So basically, you're thinking like, if your mother was right, then you will have. Not just one barrier that is like a circle around you, but you will have two, because you have the North Pole and the South Pole, you say, or are they both lines?
No. I'm thinking more like. I mean, remember, we're only talking about a model here. Okay.
Yeah.
So don't get too carried away. I don't get my knickers in a twist. I don't get my knickers in a twist. I don't get my nuts all tightened up when somebody challenges my model. But the Globers hate to have their model challenged. But it is only a model. There's no working globe.
I love having my model challenged. The thing is, there's no challenge. This model of like the round Earth, although you say there's no proof, it could work. In theory, it could work. So that's already a lot. Your model cannot work because then you're saying the South Pole, we cannot go there because they don't allow us to go there. Okay, fine, let's believe that. But then that will be.
Why do you need to believe it? Do your own research. The Antarctic Treaty is still the only unbroken treaty in the world.
If that was
in
the
history.
model, what about
Russia, who's meant to be at war, they don't go there and mine it when they could.
Okay, so
why not? Why
The
not?
North Pole for you exists or it doesn't exist?
I don't know. I'll give you,
Don't
but let me give it to you like this. The orange, I'm coming back to what I can see in nature,
Yeah.
what I can evidence in nature, not
Yeah.
what I have to believe NASA, which is a government's puppet, by the way. I don't have to believe that. When I look at an orange and I cut that through the middle, I see at the top where they're connected to the tree, that could be the north, and the bottom of the bottom of the orange, that could be the south. And through, when you cut it through and you get those seeds and you let it fall open, that could be your continents, and around that is water, or the fruit of the orange.
Yeah, but
and so what we know is that we don't believe that we can get higher than 100 miles high. That's it. That's as far as we can go. So yes, there's a shell inside. We are living in a shell.
Fine, okay. Above, I believe it could be your model. But what about on the side? Like, you know, like people have traveled all over. Like,
Okay.
there would have been
Okay.
thousands.
Is the Earth big?
millions of
Is the
people
Earth
that
big?
Would have
Yeah,
touched that supposed
well,
surface.
no, because coming back to Egvedni, yeah, we're coming back to what he would say. Hey, by the way, the original South African president, Paul Kruger, was a flat earther.
Yeah, I mean, many of you. It's just that
But most of the old people knew that. They were smarter
there's a
than we were.
big problem with your model. Like,
Okay, so let me finish. Let me finish offering you this.
If the only
Let me
place
finish
that
offering you this.
No, is the South Pole.
Yeah.
Then that's a relatively small circle that you